Now this is Zombie Woof at the schoolhouse from Excelsior Studio in West Virginia. Blue skies high.
I want to show you my hearing aid apparatus. I'm mostly hard of hearing, mostly deaf. I'm in my right ear and about half in my left ear. And it's been going down over about 30 years and it continues. My apparatus consists of the laptop, the phone, a small mixing board, pretty straightforward, mostly analog, just has a digital out. In the first mic in, I've got a little Bluetooth receiver. Turn that on. And it's in channel 1. It's hooked up to this lavalier style clip-on. Turn that on and it connects. So now I can talk into channel 1 of the board. And then with the control out, I go to another Bluetooth device. Turn this on. It's a transmitter. The board, being somewhat primitive, doesn't have that built in. And I have a little set of over-the-ear headphones. I turn these on. These mostly block the sound from outside. I find the ones that completely cover your ears to just be all that much heavier and uncomfortable after a time. But these do block most of the sound, which is important. And now I can hear myself talk. And yes, there is a lag. We've got 2 Bluetooths working here, so it's got about a half a second lag, and it is a little maddening at first, and that's where it's best if the external sound is otherwise blocked out. But you still hear your own voice inside. It takes a little getting used to. I think there's some room for improvement with some sort of a filter that maybe can actually not only block out background noise or wind noise and isolate the vocals and speech, but also conceivably block out my own voice in particular. Owsley did that for the Dead. I mean, it's just a reverse feedback thing got to happen there. Now, I also can hook up any number of remote mics or hardwired studio mics to the mixing board. So what I'm able to do then is adjust the balance to suit my hearing loss. Bass, treble, mid-range, and of course compression right here on the board. That can be helpful. And so if Vicky's sitting next to me, I simply can use the studio mic. I could have as many studio mics around the house wired up as I'd like. They could even be Bluetoothed in as well. But I can also clip this on Vicky, and surprisingly, she's let me do that a few times. She's worn this. And then we've got a situation where no matter where she is in the house, she can speak. And no matter where I am in the house, I can hear her. So that's a good start, but there's more. Because as I'm feeding the sound through the laptop, I have opened a Word document, it's pages on my Mac. I've made the background black and the text white and I've turned on the accessibility listening dictation feature. So everything Vicky says is transcribed onto my screen. This can come in incredibly handy. If you're someone who doesn't pay attention, this thing is golden. Not to mention the capability to roll it back and confirm who said what. But there's more. I then FaceTime to my phone, and I fill the screen with the Word document with a black background, white text, and share that through FaceTime. So now I have the transcription rolling out in front of me on my phone. Then I take this pair of augmented reality glasses. These are not smart glasses in the new sense of the word. These are actually like the Google Glass, which the beta never achieved commercial success. Nevertheless, the technology is now being employed mostly for gamers. And it allows you to, unlike the Oculus technology, which completely blocks your vision and substitutes the virtual reality, this is augmented, meaning I can see through the glasses, and yet there's a layer of computer imagery laid on top, which is why I go with the black screen on my computer and the black background on the document with the white text, so that all that blackness shows up as pretty much nothing, and only the white text is lit up before my eyes, transposed over whatever I'm looking at, because these are transparent. Now, when I bought them, they actually had a very dark sunglass layer on the top, and I can only imagine like gamers must want to play their games at the beach or something. But it was made it so it didn't work well at all indoors, so that I cut off with a knife, leaving just clear glass with a mirror affair, so that now I can see pretty perfectly clearly, maybe 10% grayer. I can see to walk around indoors. And yes, it has a wire which has to be plugged into the phone. This is the primitive link in the system. I'm sure they'll work that out. But once it's plugged in, I've got the transcription before my eyes. I can put the phone in my pocket. And now I am free to walk around the house. And no matter where I am and no matter where Vicky is, she can talk to me. Not only do I hear her, but I see it transcribed. So even if I'm daydreaming, let's say, I can go back and read it. Or if I don't hear her clearly, before I ask her what she said, I can at least turn to the transcription, because that might help. So guys, you don't have to wear the headset unless you're up moving about. Now, if you're sitting down when I'm at the computer, it's just right there on my screen. So it doesn't matter if she's in the kitchen or if she's sitting next to me. She's talking. I've got her words in front of me. This is a valuable asset. Don't underestimate this, guys, especially if you have like a little hearing loss. But even if you don't have the hearing loss, consider the transcription. Anyway, I think it's ridiculous that hearing aids cost $2,500 a piece and you get a tiny little amplifier with a tiny little speaker and a tiny little microphone that sounds like crap. And I'm glad that the companies like, I think, Costco and Walmart are cutting into the hearing aid conspiracy-dominated world, where they've got this deal with the insurance companies that the insurance companies will pay these outrageous sums like $5,000 for two crappy PA systems that hang on your ear and hardly help. For $5,000, you could buy 5 iPhones. Okay, anyway, this is something that anybody could do a lot of people, most of you probably have the phone, maybe the laptop, a little mixing board, a mic, and these guys. $300.